want to cut across back to Rajdeep Sardesai. You know, Rajdeep, in the morning, you and I were speaking of the fact that how, you know, it's not one. You go all the way back to Sanjay Gandhi, something that even Shaina also touched on how politicians have suffered, you know, their lives getting cut short with accidents. If you look at air tragedies, you know, young, ambitious lives cut short, political careers cut short with tragedies. Go back to Sanjay Gandhi, you had Madhav Rao Scindia, recently Vijay Rupani, YSR Reddy, you know, he wouldn't have, possibly there wouldn't have been a Telangana today if YSR was alive. So it's just the tragedy of it all, one can't get away from. But when you look at Ajit Pawar's legacy, Rajdeep, how do you reflect on that?
Well, how does one reflect on the legacy of someone like Ajit Pawar, who was Deputy Chief Minister half a dozen times but never became the Chief Minister of Maharashtra? By all accounts, he was very hardworking, was a very able administrator, understood his ministries very well, Preeti, but he was also very impatient. He never hid his ambition. He wanted to be the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and that almost became an obsession with him, that if his kaka or his uncle Sharad Pawar could be Maharashtra Chief Minister multiple times, why couldn't he be at least Chief Minister once? And somewhere, I think towards the end of his career, it meant that he broke away from his uncle. There was also the fear of the ED at the time, and chose to be on the right side of power. So it will be a legacy that is a little splintered. His critics will see Ajit Pawar as someone who was symbolizing the growing corruption that was taking place in Maharashtra, serious allegations of corruption against him. And there will be his admirers who say he was a truly rooted politician, someone who had his ear to the ground, who was connected with his people, and through good times and bad, the people of Baramati had largely stood by him, and that's because he had built this personal rapport with them and had built institutions in and around Baramati. So his legacy will just depend on who you ask that question to.
Well, you are right there, Rajdeep. And you know, it's like I said, one needs to reflect on the dynamics of even the Mahayuti, because Ajit Pawar was also, and that is what even Devendra Fadnavis said, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, that was a dear friend, and it was a dear friend. And we'll bring in Dhaval as well, because if you look at, you know, go all the way back to 2019, that 5:30 a.m. in the morning, when everybody woke up to an oath-taking ceremony of Devendra Fadnavis with Ajit Pawar, you know, that union might have lasted just 88 hours, but there was a friend that Devendra Fadnavis saw in Ajit Pawar. Even, you know, Dhaval will also be able to tell us how it was Ajit Pawar that helps Devendra Fadnavis to possibly keep the ambitions of his other deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde in check. So there will be somewhere down the line a disbalance in that as well. So Rajdeep, I want to ask you, and then we'll cut across to Dhaval as well. How do you see it change the dynamics within the Mahayuti after the passing away of Ajit Pawar?
Well, Preeti, that's a very interesting question, because the Mahayuti is a unique tricycle. There's the BJP, which is now the dominant party of Maharashtra politics, but it has two other wheels. The Shiv Sena, that's the Shinde group, and the NCP led by Ajit Pawar. Now it appears one of those wheels could be falling away. That's the Ajit Pawar group. Does that strengthen Eknath Shinde in a way? And how does that affect the relationship of Eknath Shinde with Devendra Fadnavis? Over the last 12 months, Eknath Shinde has been chafing at the bit, wanting to once again become Chief Minister, knowing that won't happen easily. And life, therefore, hasn't been as easy as it otherwise might have been for Devendra Fadnavis. But it's very clear to me that Fadnavis is Maharashtra's Neta number one. The BJP is party number one. How he now deals with his allies will be yet another challenge for him. How he handles a restive Shinde and an NCP without Ajit Pawar, which could easily splinter in different directions, fragment, will, I think, pose some kind of a challenge to the Mahayuti. But I do believe that this government of the Mahayuti will clearly last the 5 years, because it has such power both at the center and in Mumbai that the allies can only do so much, as we saw even in the recent
Right.
municipal elections.
You know, Rajdeep,
The
I
Shiv
just want to
Sena,
draw our
sorry, the
viewers'
BJP
attention to what
swept
they
most of the
see.
municipalities.
You know,
So
that's the,
in
it
that
does
sense,
break, yeah, it does break your heart, Rajdeep, where these visuals are coming in right now. You have that picture which is lit of Ajit Pawar, and all you see is a sea of people, and that's a sea of grief, a sea of bereavement. I just want to bring in for one final time Shaina NC and Dhawal Kulkarni. Shaina, if you can encapsulate it in very short, how would you remember Ajit Dada?
An able administrator, probably one of the finest and best that Maharashtra has seen. Extremely hardworking, as I said, being my neighbor, I know that he woke up every day at 6 in the morning and you'd see crowd outside Devgiri, meet with one and all, and 50 years to consistently do this kind of activity of reach out to people from Maharashtra, I think in itself is a
Right.
great, great tribute to somebody who rose from the ranks. And this is not just the loss of Baramati. I think this is a loss to young aspirational India and Bharat, because he was a leader who literally from an MLA became the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra.